Hey, everybody. It's Kaylee, the teacher of finances. I'm going to set my computer up so it's not so wobbly. There we go. All right. I wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about. Oh, I forgot my hat. It's Mondays. Let's put my hat on. All right. So, today, Monday, we have Mythbuster Mondays. There we go. Now I'm in character. All right. Anyways, it's Mythbuster Mondays. It's Kaylee, teacher of finances. I'm just hopping on here to cover some myths and provide you some facts. So today, if you're watching live, drop me a 1 in the comments. If you are watching this after I hop off of here, drop me a 2 in the comments. So what we're going to talk about is young, healthy, and employed, maybe have no kids. Why? Thanks, babe. You're the best. My husband commented one on my Instagrams. Thank you. Anyways, we're going to talk about life insurance for young, single, healthy, and maybe no kids. If you're married and have no kids, or if you're just young and healthy and have kids, pretty much all of this is important to everybody. But the myth is the fact of if you're young, single, healthy, and have no kids, you don't need insurance. Here's the fact. Life insurance is a product that cannot be bought when needed. So you may be thinking like, what? What do you mean? So what I'm saying is life insurance is a product that when you need it, you're likely not going to be able to get it. So there's some research by the Federal Reserve that 40% of Americans would struggle to cover a $400 unexpected bill. So if you get a bill for $400, more than likely it's going to put you in a bind. Deaths are often unexpected and they're expensive. Donations that are made to the funded funeral campaigns, like a GoFundMe. So, donate the funds to funeral campaigns, typically keep 5% of the donations for themselves. So, 5 or 6 years ago, crowdfunding was considered a concept and it was uncomfortable for people to ask friends and family for money. But now you see them all the time. You see GoFundMe's online all the time. Somebody passes away, what do you see? You see a GoFundMe because they weren't prepared. They didn't have the money to take care of the expenses when it came to the burying or the burial or the services or the funeral. So what's important is that you don't have to wait to apply for life insurance once you become married. Once you have kids, you can do it when you're young and single. The best time to do it is when you are a parent. When you are young. When you're young and single, the better the rate's going, or young and healthy, the better your rate will be. Your beneficiary doesn't have to be a child. It can just be somebody that's your family member, somebody who is going to pay for your funeral if you die today? That's the question to ask. I'm going to give you a story and then I'm going to drop back into some facts. So there was a husband and wife, and we're going to go ahead and say we're going to talk about being married. But there's a husband and a wife. The husband didn't feel well. They had 2 kids. They were 27 and 30. He got sick, went to the doctor. Come to find out, he was diagnosed with a disease called ALS. And you're talking about a 30-year-old ALS. ALS takes over your whole nerve system. It weakens your muscles, and there's no cure to it. They had never thought about getting any type of coverage for them because they had it through their work. And you hear that a lot. Well, I'm young and healthy and I have it through my work. Or I don't have kids, I have it through my work. They didn't ever take out the policy. With the ALS, within a year and a half, he had lost his job. He had to leave his job because he no longer had the strength to do his daily activities. Within the 3-year time frame, he ended up passing away. So during that time frame, think about what happened to his family. And it doesn't have to be a wife. It could be, let's think about this is you. Within year 3, you pass away. Who's going to take care of your expenses? Do you have a student loan? Who's going to have to take care of that? Who's that going to fall back on? Is it going to be your parents? Do you have medical bills that you've been having to pay? Is it going to be your parents that have to take over those medical bills? So he passes away within year 3. He has no savings. They have no money to take care of his final expenses. They don't have a way to pay for his funeral. What do you think happened to his wife? What do you think happens to the family in this situation? So in this situation, he's married and has kids. But it changed the life of his wife and his kids drastically. Not only did his wife face heartache and burden, and was she going through a huge heartbreak, she had to come up with how she's going to take care of their kids, How is she going to afford their home? How is she going to pay their bills? She had to sell her house, move back in with their family, and then try to find a job that was going to be able to provide for the income they lost with her husband. The worst part about it all is when she goes to the funeral home, they tell her it's going to be about $2,000 to cremate him or $10,000 or more to bury him. She didn't even have that. She didn't have any of it. So she asked the funeral home, "Can I get a payment plan?" And they said, "Sorry, we can't do that. We're just going to hold the body until you have the funds." So she posted a GoFundMe. She got about $2,000 built up, and they had to cremate him. He didn't want to be cremated. He wanted to be buried, but she didn't have a choice. That's all she had. So as humans, we think so often that our life is just that we are never going to face, my phone always rings when I'm going live. We're never going to face death. We're never going to have that happen to us. We're not going to become sick. We're immortal, right? That's how our brains think. We think that we're going to die when we're 89. We don't think about the fact that we may die whenever we're 30, 32, 35, 27. So if you're young, the reason why I'm saying young and single is if you're young and single, it's important for you to get it now because likely you're not going to be young and single one day. Likely you are going to have a family. And if you have all this in place, then you don't have to worry about what happens after the fact. Your family is going to face a lot of emotional pain when you die. And so I've heard people say, "Oh, well, I took care of my kids or I paid for that." But think about all of the pain that they're going to experience when something happens to you, especially if it's unexpected. So it's not something that you're doing because it's for you. It's something that you're doing for the people that care about you, and it's something that you're going to use. Like, you are guaranteed to use this. Do you really want your loved ones to have to deal with and beg people to give them money when simply all you had to do is put a plan in place when you were young and healthy that literally could cost you $25 a month? Depending on your age, depending on your health, 25 to 85 on average, depending on how much coverage you want. So putting something in place now can literally change your future. Not only does it change the fact of just burial expenses and bills and things like that, but it also can help you grow wealth. There's other things that it can help you do. So I'm scrolling back up because I had to jump around a little bit on my notes. I wanted to explain the story and why I felt like it's so important. But even if you are young and single and you have a plan, you can change the beneficiary anytime. You can change the person that it's going to affect. So let's say that when you're young, single, healthy, you put your parents on there and then you get married. Now who's going to be responsible? Your wife's going to be responsible if something happens to you, or your husband. So then you can change that. You can always have multiple people on there that take care of it. Applying for it sooner than later saves you money in premiums. So it's, get it now, get it in place, have it set up so then that way you're not having to pay for it or pay more for it later on in life. Depending on how much you get or how much you're qualified for, it's based on your age and your health. As you get older, you also develop a risk for certain conditions. There's a statistic that was posted by Lemur that 40% of those who hold a life insurance policy wish they would have bought it at a younger age. So it just needs to be bought for now, not when the time is right. Like, there isn't a right time to get insurance besides now, because when you think, "Oh man, I wish I would have had a policy," it's too late. So another thing that was said is it's very simple. You cannot insure a building under fire. That's the way to look at it. So if you're in a building or you're in a home and you don't have insurance on it and it's on fire, you can't call that insurance company and say, "Hey, I need insurance on this right now." They're going to say, "No, it's already gone." So you have to buy it before you need it. And then those are the reasons that I've already talked about, the younger premiums. But you can also use it to build wealth. You can leave a legacy. You can support yourself during retirement. I had a customer I talked to the other day. She said her mom went to France on her life insurance policy. So she had so much cash value built up in that life insurance policy. She was able to take a portion of it out and go to France. Like, what? That's mind-blowing. That's so cool. So there's so much more to it than the fact of you have it through your job that you're young and healthy. Well, young and healthy literally can change in a second. Young and healthy can change from having a ache in your back going to the doctor to find out that now you have some sort of like I said, an ALS, or you have cancer. So if you do it when you are young and healthy, it changes the dynamics of everything for you. So that's all I have for you guys today. That's my myth of the day. We, as always, I don't know what I did with my debunk sheet. We debunked our myth that if you're young and healthy and have no kids, you still need it. It is so important to get it. So if you don't have it, drop me a comment, shoot me a message. Let's get together. Let's sit down. Let's get you some quotes. Let's put something together for you real quick, and let's just see what we can get you. Like, you would be surprised at how affordable it actually can be if you're young and healthy. That's all I have. I hope you have a great Monday. I'll see you guys later.